Hi, Craig.
Hi, how are you?
Good. Thanks so much for joining me today. I'm super excited to talk. I have loved your book, or one of your books, I should say. First, let me just kind of read your bio so that folks who don't already follow your work just have a clear sense of all the stuff you do. Craig Ballantyne is a productivity and success transformation coach from Toronto, Ontario, Canada. One, two, three. And the author of The Perfect Day Formula, How to Own the Day and Control Your Life. He has been contributing to Men's Health magazine since 2000, and in 2001, Craig created the popular home workout program, Turbulence Training. On his journey to success, Craig had to overcome crippling anxiety attacks, and he beat them with his 5 pillars of transformation. Today, Craig shows men and women how to use the 5 pillars to lose 10 to 75 pounds, get a raise and make more money, find the love of their life, and overcome any obstacle in the way of success. You can read his daily essays on success, productivity, and fitness at earlytorise.com. Awesome. So when you think about this idea of success, do you think that it seems like from the outside that you kind of have a different perspective of success than is kind of mainstream? Does that comment resonate with you or no?
I'll answer that, and I'll be interested to hear what you think. I view as success. Now, I certainly view success as helping a lot of people. I'm certainly not against financial success. I mean, I'm working every day to build a business and a profitable business, so that is something that's important to me as well. But I've gotten into a business about helping people, and so I think that is probably the number one view of success. Am I helping these people? Am I making a difference? Am I adding value? Am I doing the right things? And am I doing the right things not only for the end user, but am I doing the right things for the employees in the office? And I certainly have sometimes I have knee-jerk reactions to stuff. It's like, yeah, that's the most profitable thing we should do. We should do that. And then I kind of get this, I almost call it like my Seth Godin conscience on my shoulder. I don't know if you're familiar with Seth's writing, but
Very much so.
I get his email every morning, and then sometimes it's like a cold bucket of water to the face. It's like, hey, let's think about this for a second and not just maximize profits, and let's make sure that we're doing the right thing for everybody involved. And so, all those are matters of success to me. And then really what it comes down to is if it was 2 words to me, it's family first. I'm a big family guy, and so I think that somebody's life, if they're a family person, family should be an overriding factor in a lot of the decisions they make. So that's my interpretation of success. It's, very holistic, I suppose. There's a lot of components to it, but at the end of the day, I still want to, make some money and be a profitable person.
So from the outside, it looks like you kind of, and what my analysis, I say that in quotes, was from the outside, is it seems like you place sort of a lot more intention around the word success than a lot of other people, which obviously goes along with sort of all the work you do. But so I'm curious how when you are now at this place in your career, and in your career of really helping all these other people who now all in some way kind of want a piece of you, right? Because they have all been helped to such an extent by your work in various different areas. How do you make sure that you're kind of staying on track and, as you say, keeping family first? Obviously, you want a successful business. You want your team in Denver to be growing and expanding and improving. But how do you keep family first when you have all these opportunities knocking on your door?
Okay, so great question, and a couple answers there. So first of all, you want to build your business. If you're going to be an entrepreneur and you're the type of person who wants to grow a business with team members and employees, you want to grow the business so that you're actually I would say, the dumbest person in the room. And I think that everybody in every business is expendable. So whether it's Steve Jobs passed on and Apple still runs, you can say that it's not as successful as it used to be, but it's still pretty darn successful. And so no one person in almost any business, unless it's like a celebrity business, like the Beyonce business is no business without Beyonce. But most businesses should operate without the person, the owner, and that's, you go back to the E-Myth by Michael Gerber, that's his big message there. And so, I'm very impressed by these business owners who who've just built a system and a team of people that can operate the businesses. And so you take a look at McDonald's, and there's a lot to learn there in terms of the franchise and the systems that they put in place. And so that's what somebody should be, in theory, going for in their business. So you hire giants. That's what you want to do. Hire people smarter than you so that you become the least important person in the business. That, obviously you don't want to completely delegate everything away, and you're not going to do that at first, and you're not just going to hand them the keys to the kingdom. You're going to grow them as people and employees and make them better. And as you grow them, they're going to be doing things without you that are super successful. And so I'm sure you saw that at Twitter with groups or individuals or something like that, where projects were done that were really impressive. And same with what people hear out of Google, the 20% rule, and people go and do these projects that lead to greater things. And so that is what you want to build. Now, coming back to your priorities and how you keep family first in that time, you do have to draw the line somewhere. I mean, we could be doing podcasts all day. We could be doing, especially as a writer, I could be writing articles. It's nonstop. There is absolutely no limit to ever writing. Even J.K. Rowling, all she does is write. It's amazing. And James Patterson, they pump out so much stuff, but they do, James Patterson does a lot of collaborations. But again, you have to at some point say, okay, enough is enough. This is too much work. We're this successful. You're not going to be the richest company in the world. You're not going to be $1 billion company in most cases, people listening to this call. I wish you success as much as you want, but you do have to essentially say, listen, I've worked 47 hours this week. We've had a great week. We've been profitable. At some point, you have to shut down the computer and go and live your life. And so it takes thinking. It takes getting away from computers. I'm a big fan of pen and paper and just sitting in a room where you are not at your regular workspace or sitting in a park. Research shows you're more creative when you're away from your workspace, and you sit there and you think, and you get a very good vision for your life, and you establish that vision in very almost concrete terms, and you say, this is what I want, this is what I'm willing to do, and what I'm not willing to do to get there. Here's what I'm going to do, and away we go. It's like the Olympian who is not willing to take steroids, and that means they might forever come in fourth place. They might come. How that is so hard of a decision for people to make. And you see, there was a Canadian gal who went from fourth place at the Olympics to actually, 4 years later, I think she won the gold medal because all the people in front of her were busted for drugs. Now, is that anticlimactic to be given your gold medal 4 years later? Yeah, but it's also, it's also nice. I'm sure she's proven right that what she did was right and honorable. And at the end of the day, even if she was never given a medal because all those cheaters got away with it, she knows in her heart that she did the right thing. And so that comes back, looping back to know what you want, know what you're willing to do for it, and know what you're not willing to do for it. Have that written down. I help people create rules for their life and live by your code of conduct, which is your rules for your life. And, in the end of the day, in 300 years from now, most of us are not going to be remembered. So you have to realize that what you're doing is the legacy for your life and your family, more than, again, going back to what we talked about at the start, Claire, which is that comparison against others. Avoid the comparison against others and focus on what matters.
So when you talk about kind of building a team and hiring these giants, to what extent have you, in sort of your experience, been able to or found kind of the balance between giving people leeway or giving people structure in terms of building a team?
So what we do in our business is every Monday we do one-on-one meetings. So, in corporate world, sometimes they wait a full year to do annual reviews, but we do something that my business partner, Matt Smith, taught me called GS and Rs, which stands for goal set and reviews. And so every employee comes in, I work with some of them. Some of our other managers work with some of the other people, so I don't see everybody. But we sit down, we talk about what they did last week. So we review the last week, what they got done, what their obstacles were, and then we set goals for the next 7 days. Okay, what are we going to get done in the next 7 days? What will a good week look like for you? What will, if something doesn't happen, where you be frustrated? And so we do that on a regular basis. And so we don't just hire someone say, here's the operations manual, away you go. We do kind of an onboarding culturally wise. We show them what we're all about. We introduce them to everybody on the team. We get them to know all the roles, all the opportunities in the business, and we show them what we're all about. I think that's very important, that most people don't really show their employees what they're all about. So a lot of employees operate under this veil of secrecy. They're not really sure what the whole point of the business is in a lot of cases. So we educate our people as much as possible. Well, it's so like some employees, they might have this jaded opinion that, you're just out for yourself and making money. But if you have this mission to help other people and they don't know about that, they're going to operate in a different way. So it's really important for you to pass that culture on to your employees. But then, we give them educational opportunities. We buy them courses and we send them to events, and then we circle back and, what'd you learn? How can we apply this? And every day we give them the opportunity to bring us ideas, and we want stuff to trickle from the bottom up, and we want stuff to circulate amongst the peers, and we just want everybody to understand the opportunities, how they can help other people on the team, and that's how we continue to grow our people to the best of their abilities.
Have you, along the way, had any critical sort of guides or mentors that have brought you here? Has that been a factor in your success?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I have many, many, many people that I would consider mentors. I have everything from what I call virtual mentors, which are people I've never met. For example, there's this guy, Bill Campbell in Silicon Valley, who just passed away. Do you know his name at all?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, he to me was a role model. Like he had a business that, whatever he did, I don't even know exactly what he did other than he mentored pretty much almost every major person out in Silicon Valley. And I just thought, this is a wonderful person, and I just, I read a few articles about him, and I looked at him as a virtual mentor, and, this is how I should operate, and this is how I should be a go-giver, and this is how I should, mentor people in my industry. So I have people like that. I have other people who's I've only read their books, but I consider them mentors because they've taught me something. Then I have other people like, there's the marketer like Dan Kennedy. I've gone to so many of his events. I've read so many of his newsletters. I just got an amazing letter from him yesterday about the Perfect Day book and kit and all this stuff. And he actually helped me put it together through some of the phone calls that we had. He challenged me. He said, well, it's just another book. How are you going to stand out? And we came up with this little kit that allows us to show up differently. And so he's a mentor to me. And there's a guy named Mark Ford, who I bought the Early to Rise business from, who's a mentor to me. And there's my business partner, Matt Smith. So Matt Smith, and then another business partner of mine, Bedros Keuilian, and then a good friend of mine, Joel Marion, the guy who works from midnight till 3 a.m. Those three gentlemen have been the greatest impact on me personally and professionally, have made me a better manager, a better person, a better business person. And so those three guys, because I spend so much time with them, have helped me the most. And then, but I also get put in place, I guess you would say, and mentored by my employees every day, by seeing their reactions to what we do. And so it really helps me to learn from everybody.
I love that idea that you can learn from everybody, and sort of this idea that guides and mentors can come in kind of all shapes and sizes, really.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's where you have to start. If you have no money and, you go to the library and you watch, read the book, take out their books, or you go to YouTube and you find a person who speaks to you and who has done what you want to do and who also shares your morals and ethics. And then you go and you do everything to learn from them at the next level. As soon as you've made some money with their free advice, you go and invest in their $97 course. And then you go to their seminar, and then you find a way to either intern with them or hire them as a coach. And so that's what I recommend to people listening.
I love it. Thank you so much for this. Can you just share kind of what you're working on right now, and then where folks can find out more about everything you do?
Yeah, absolutely. So my number one focus these days is the Perfect Day formula. And we not only have the book, but we have a little kit that comes with basically virtual mentoring stuff. It's all the questions that help people get through creating their rules, their pillars for success, and their vision for their life, which are the three components that go with the 3C formula. And so that's what I spend most of my time on now, but I also do a lot of stuff in the fitness world still, and speaking and helping people grow their online businesses as well. So I have a lot of fun, helping so many people and seeing, it's like throwing a rock in a lake, seeing the ripples go out and seeing all these people who I gave a little advice to go and, become better than me really fast and help 10 times more people. So it's really, really great. So that's what we're up to these days.
I love it, the ripple. Well, thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Claire.